Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to host a WordPress website in Amazon LightSail. It's Amazon's kind of user-friendly, completely separate dashboard to kind of set up virtual private servers. And it does some other things too, but I'll just show you how to set up a quick WordPress site. You probably get it going in about 10-15 minutes. There also is a free tier, so you get 3 months free or 750 hours. So you can do all this for free. The only thing you're going to need is an Amazon account. If you have one, great. If you don't, you'll have to sign up for one. You just need to plug in your credit card. They won't charge you as long as you stick to the free tier. You won't be charged. But yeah, and once you get signed up for that, get in there, you're going to log it. It's going to look something like this. And another thing you're going to need is a domain name. You might already own one through GoDaddy or one of the other hosting providers. I purchased mine earlier today through Route 53. Route 53 is Amazon's domain registrar, and they kind of handles all the domains and other different services, DNS, resolvers, traffic flow. What else do they got in here? It handles a bunch. So I purchased mine right here, right there, got it set up, haven't done anything to it. Took like about an hour to provision. So next I'm gonna go to LightSail. So at the top, you can go to services and it shows up right here, or you can just type in LightSail. And it brings you to a whole separate dashboard. Looks pretty clean, easy to use. I think their whole goal was just user friendly. You know, you don't gotta work in IT or be a developer to do this. Anybody can do this. So once you get to the screen, first thing we're going to do is create an instance. There is a couple tabs here: containers, databases. We're not going to go into any of these right now. Actually, we'll touch networking, we'll touch storage, no snapshots. I'll show you guys how to do snapshots too. So go back to instances, click the orange create instance button. And it should bring you to this page here. And then at the first thing you see is the region. Normally you manage this at the top right of the main dashboard, but this one you choose through here. So if you just click it, you'll see all the different regions. I'm going to pick Oregon. Oregon's closest to me. They do have Northern California, and they have a bunch of different regions, but this is the supported LightSail regions right now. And I'm sure there's more to come. There also is availability zone. And if you're not familiar with that, it's basically a data center within this region, right? So Oregon, there's going to be 4 data centers all spread out, you know, maybe some on the coast, one in the mountain, one on the other side of the state, you know, just in case maybe there's a catastrophe on one side, these other ones are still open. So you don't need to worry about this if you're just going to have a one server WordPress site, but if maybe you have multiple servers and you want to load balance them, you'll put them in different availability zones and you'll spread traffic that way. And if there's a failover, like one of the regions go down, you just route all the traffic to the other zones. So that's kind of cool. I'm just going to pick A because it doesn't matter. I'm only going to do one. I'm going to do Linux because it's cheaper. You could do Windows if you don't want to use the command line, but honestly, it's going to be like 10 or 15 commands, and I'll provide them below too. So Linux, I'm going to do WordPress. There's all the other options if you're curious, you can play around with. I'm not going to mess with launch script yet or the SSH key pair. So here's the instance pricing plans. And all these instances, if you don't know the instance families at Amazon, I believe they're on the T2 series still. They might be on the T3, but they're burstable instances. But they kind of give you a flat rate here. And you notice, in a one-page WordPress site that's not going to get a lot of traffic, you really don't need a lot. I'm just going to do the $5 one for now. And you could always kind of, I'll show you how to set up monitoring too through the Amazon LightSail console. And you can kind of keep an eye on it. You know, if your CPUs spike at 90, then you can bump it up to the next instance plan. And they also have memory, and all these ones are like optimized for memory or CPU, or you need a ton of storage. So I'm going to stick to this one, stick to one of the free ones. I'm going to call this my website that I'm creating, Fox MSP. Let's create it. I'm going to pause it while it creates. It should take about a minute or two. All right, guys, it did take about a minute to provision the Linux Ubuntu server. I think it's on Amazon Linux. And then it takes about 2 minutes for you to be able to SSH in. It has to set up some kind of authentication through the browser. Once it's ready, you can refresh the page, hit this little command line looking symbol here, and it should pop you right in. You should see the little Bitnami and get you right into the command line. So let's get the command. So the first thing you got to do is concatenate the application password so you can log into the WordPress site the first time. And the command for that is going to be, let's ls it real quick. Oops. So there's the, this is what we're going to want to concatenate. So the command's going to be, let's run sudo cat, and then let's type out the Bitnami credentials, and let's get that out. And then there we go. This is our user. It's going to be user, and the password's right here. This is what we're going to use to log into our WordPress site for the first time. So make sure to either copy this in a notepad or just leave this up. And before I'm going to minimize this. Before we go in there, I want to give my server a static IP. Servers in Amazon always have a dynamic IP, and see this address area 54. And every time we reboot it or do something that turns it off, we're going to get a brand new IP every time, and that's not going to work. We're going to have to remap it with DNS every time, and that's not ideal. So click on the networking tab. We're going to choose, did I already create one? Let's delete that. So we're going to choose the create static IP right here. And click this drop down here. We're going to choose the instance that we made. There's my 1 gig of RAM, 1 CPU. I don't really care about that. Create. And there's my IP, and that's not going to change. So now that 44 address is always on this website now. So let's go back home. All right, next, let's log into our WordPress site for the first time. So copy this public IP and put it into a new browser session. And we're going to do /wp-admin. And that's WordPress admin. So we get to our front end login for the back end WordPress site, and it's going to be user. And let's open up that SSH session real quick. And there's that password without the quotes. I'll close that for now. Paste that in. And now we're into our site the first time. And if we click the in the top left where it says users blog, here's your publicly facing WordPress site. We're halfway there, almost there. So far, so easy. And I'm going to jump into how to kind of set up just some WordPress stuff. I'm not a WordPress expert, but I'll show you guys some quick stuff. But before we go into that, I want to map this IP to my domain. So someone can type in my website instead of having to do this IP address. So I am going to go back into Route 53. So go back to the main Amazon dashboard. It's console.aws.amazon.com. Or if you're using GoDaddy, you'll have to go into that hosting provider or wherever you purchase your domain from. And basically what we're going to be doing is creating an A record. So I'll show you how to do it in Route 53, but if you use another provider, just Google how to create an A record in GoDaddy or whatever your provider is. It's pretty similar. They're all pretty similar. There might be some small differences, but yeah, so I'm going to jump in and create this record. I'm going to hit the orange button, create record. I am going to, it already defaults to A, so I'm just going to take that IP address, which is right here, and I'm going to paste it right here. Remove the HTTP, so just have it IP. I'm going to leave it on 300 seconds. I'm going to put on 1 minute so it propagates fast. Simple routing, just leave it all kind of default. I'm going to add one more, and I'm just going to have it go to, put the www in the beginning. Remove that. So I'm creating those records. I'm I'm gonna give it a minute so we can see if it propagated out to the internet. You can check it through. I know there's MX Toolbox, and you can also check dnschecker.org. So let's see. So foxxp.com. Let's see if there's a record in there. It already propagated out. So let's see what happens if I try to go to my website. Oh yeah, since we don't have a SSL certificate yet, it's going to give you this warning. Just click advanced or whatever browser you're using. Just there's a bypass somewhere in there. Accept risk and continue. So there we are. We're at our Fox my domain basically .com. We don't have we haven't secured our site yet, but here it is. And if I just do /wp-admin, it'll let me log in again. So it's user. And what was our password? Let me connect in real quick again and get that password. Should have wrote it down. There's my password. Copy paste it real quick. There we go. First thing you should do also is go to users, go to all users, and let's change that password. So once you go to users, let's do it again. Click your user, scroll down, and there's going to be a set new password option. So let me type in my password real quick. Good enough for now. I'll change it again elsewhere. Update profile. Okay, cool. I'll come back and try test logging in. All right, so next I'm going to jump back on the LightSail dashboard because we're almost done here. We got a static IP. Let me show you the metrics option here. And then you're going to see it only shows the CPU utilization. If you want to track the memory or RAM, you're going to have to do a third party or install Amazon's CloudWatch agent. So from here you can kind of see where it's at. Like no one's on my website. It's just the CPU required to run the site, which is probably in the decimals right now, until I start adding more stuff. But yeah, if you get more visitors, you'll see it move up. So it's kind of cool. It has a built-in CPU utilization. So you just click, once you click metrics, go to CPU utilization, click add alarm. And then from here, you can choose when the CPU goes greater than 1%. There's a bunch of different options. I'm just going to do greater than or equal to 90. I'm going to leave it default 2 times, 20 minutes. You know, maybe I get a bunch of traffic. You can set up SMS, text message, or email. Then click create. I'm not going to mess with it right now. Actually, let's just create it. I'll come back to it. Then also there's snapshots. It's kind of cool. They have built-in snapshots. WordPress there is a plugin I know about that you can snapshot the site and you can just, if you need to re-import it, you can do that. And it's just a downloadable file you can drop on your desktop or save it wherever you want. But Amazon does have a built-in snapshot that will redeploy the whole instance like it was, an exact block level copy. There is extra charges for that, so be aware of that. You can set up automatic snapshots, have it automatically back up everything every Friday night or something, so it's kind of cool and easy, all built into the dashboard. All right, with that said, I'm just gonna go over to WordPress now. I'm gonna show you guys how to kind of just get going on WordPress. Like I said before, I'm not really a WordPress expert, so I'll kind of just show you the basics that I know about. Then I'll put some links down in the description showing you how to really customize your website. You're in, just make sure you change your password from the default. You should even make a whole new account, make a different user so people can't guess the username either. Make it your own username, difficult password to use, then you'll be good to go. The next thing I usually do is delete all of the bloatware, all the plugins that come with it. There's a bunch of them here. I'm just going to remove them all. Click this top level plugin right here, and then I'm going to click deactivate, click apply, click them all again, and this time we're going to delete them. Take a sec to go through everything, and while it deletes, now I got rid of everything and we're kind of starting fresh. If you go again to the website, usually it removes it, but yeah, you'll see here it's just a very basic website right now. We're going to add in some themes and other plugins to make it look a little prettier. Our next thing to check is just to update WordPress. Usually go dashboard, updates. Let's check again. There usually is updates. AWS provided a up-to-date WordPress image, so I don't need to update. But usually there's something there, depending on when you do it. And then next, let's see. One thing I like to change is changes in the settings here. Go to settings, then go to permalinks. And I usually like to change this, so this will how it displays the subpages. I like to change it to the post name. It just looks cleaner in my opinion instead of having a date in front of it like that. I hate that. So I choose post name. You can choose whatever you like. I'm gonna save that. Next thing to check is the search engine visibility. That's going to be under readings, the reading right there. If you're doing it on LightSail like I am, you know, you're following this guide, it should automatically be set to turned on, not discouraged, but just check it just in case. So there's, yeah, this is the option right here. Make sure it's not checked. Because if this is checked, it's going to, like it says, discourage Google from kind of indexing the site. And if someone searches whatever you're doing, you want it to show up, right? All right, so next I'm going to go to appearance. We're going to go to themes. I'm going to do the, I'll put the guide that I followed before. I followed a bunch of them. And I'll show you what I followed, but I'm just going to install the Astra theme. Click add new. Once you click add new, you're going to go to the search. You're going to put Astra, A-S-T-R-A. Here it is right here, the little purplish background. I'm going to click install. And there's a million different themes and plugins out there. This is the one I'm most familiar with. And then once you install, make sure you click activate, and it'll give you a little prompt up here saying you're done. Next, I'm going to go to appearance and themes. Let's go to themes. Actually, no, we want to go to plugins. Let's do add new. And from here, I'm going to do the starter templates. This will save you a lot of time. Templates. So it's this, there it is, okay. It's this one right here. Starter templates, Elementor, Gutenberg, Beaver, a couple others. I'm going to install this one. Installed. And once done, you should get this select page builder. Elementor is most popular. I think it's easiest to use. Most of the tutorials will point you in this direction too. So I'm going to choose Elementor. I recommend you do the same. And from here, you're going to be able to choose the themes that you can just apply to your website and kind of upload it and activate it. And it'll look exactly like it does here. And then from there, you can start editing. I'm going to upload a theme, and then from there, you're going to have to play with it on your own. Let's sort by free. Let's do the steakhouse. Steak sounds good. So once you click on it, there's going to be an import complete site. Click that. So once you click the import complete site, if you go through a bunch of different themes trying to figure out what you want, make sure you click the delete previously imported site because it'll kind of overwrite it. So I'm going to click that, click import. It'll take a minute. All right, took about a minute. Then it'll give you a little successful pop-up here. Click view site, and then you should have your new site. That's saved you a ton of time and looks good. And you can start editing it through the Elementor here, or customize. I'll put some links on some good WordPress tutorials. The only other thing left to kind of do is the kind of secure your site with an SSL certificate. I'll have another video. I'll link it in the description too on how to set up Let's Encrypt. So go check that out, and you see how easy it is to set up. I think that's it. Hope you guys liked the video. If I missed anything or did something wrong, let me know in the comments, and I'll appreciate any feedback. Thanks, guys.